Hi friends, in our last video, we talked about how we absolutely believe we are still not in a recession. But since that time, you turn on the TV and you've got long-standing, bright economic minds talking about, well, what it could mean is this, but it might mean that, and even though historically it hasn't said this, it could be this. They're distorting the data. You can make data say almost anything that you want, but that doesn't make it true. And the data, which is reviewed and stamped by the National Bureau of Economic Research and the Business Cycle Dating Committee, that's who actually determines recession. If you go to their website, their definition of a recession doesn't have anything to do with 2 quarters of consecutive decline in GDP. It's not there because that's not what they use. It is a rule of thumb that we've used to sort of simplify how recessions normally happen. In fact, since World War I, we've had roughly 12 or 13, 16 recessions, and 8 of them have started with 2 negative quarters of GDP contraction. But the NBER, the National Bureau of Economic Research, doesn't use that. They look at all sorts of economic data, inventories, goods, production, profits, spending, et cetera, et cetera. And when we look at the data and actually apply it, not for political purposes or to keep viewership, here's what we see is that job growth through the first 6 months of the year, we averaged 457,000 new jobs every month, which by any historical standard is booming job growth. Industrial production is up 5.2% at an annualized rate. Again, by any economic or historical measure, a very, very lucrative and expansionary industrial number. When we look at corporate profits, they are up year over year 3%, revenues up 10%, and so far 70% of the companies reporting earnings have beat earnings expectations. If this is a recession, this just might be the best recession ever by way of economic data. Now, what's important to remember is that the market, one of the largest reasons we've seen this rally is because our monetary system no longer makes decisions based off of pure economic data and information, but there's a political narrative and wind that goes with the Federal Reserve and the decision-making process. And so the 10-year Treasury has dropped by roughly 60 basis points down to under about 2.7% from its previous highs this year, which means the market is now saying we believe that we are undervalued based off of profits and where the relative 10-year Treasury is, and we believe that the Federal Reserve has either met its rate hiking goals, or they may even raise a time or 2 more, but probably cut in 2023. So the market is saying we are no longer concerned about interest rate and the Federal Reserve anymore, which is one of the largest reasons you've seen this rally. But they're also saying, hey, the economic data, which we've been waiting on for months, now continues to show industrial production up. While the goods part of GDP is down, services are up because during the lockdowns, what closed? Services, movie theaters, massage parlors, haircut and salons. Those services are now exploding. All the data is pointing to what we have continued to say. We do not see recession in 2022. And a political pundit, a senator, a congressman or woman, or a talking head can try to manipulate the definition of recession or the data to say anything they want, but it doesn't make it true. We continue to believe in a second half market acceleration, and we've said it's very possible and probably likely in the next 18 to 24 months that we will have an economic-based recession. But they happen. It's sort of like the pruning of a grapevine. You take it all the way down to the nubs so that it produces more fruit over time. But we do not believe that is 2022. We do not believe that is this moment. And we believe how you're allocated for the continued acceleration that we believe happens is incredibly important. Thanks for watching. See you next time.